grain of the walnut showed through the dust. I've been chasing the curve where the arm met the rail. She'd rocked in that chair every evening for years, till the glue gave way and the spindle split pale. I was half a day gone in the sawdust and sweat when my thumb found the spot that the grit had forgot. A smooth hollow worn by her hand all those autumns, and I stopped with the sandpaper, just breathing, just not. I don't know how grace settles on a half-finished thing, like light on the blade when the workshop goes still. I was fixing a break, but I found something more, a rest that the work never meant to fulfill. The air smelled of cedar and something like rain. I had oil on my apron, a rag in my fist, and I thought of her rocking through harvest and frost, how she'd hum when the evening was quiet and kissed. Then the sanding block stalled where the grain started to shine, and I felt the whole weight of the day leave my chest. Not a word, not a prayer, just my palm on the curb, and the workshop was suddenly holy and blessed. I don't know how grace settled on a half-finished thing, like light on the blade when the workshop goes still. I was fixing a break, but I found something more, a rest that the work never meant to fulfill. An old man alone with a chair and some time, a spindle that wouldn't hold her again, but the wood smoothed out like a promised return, and I laid down the tool, let the silence begin. I don't know how grace finds the place where we break, but the grain held the hollow, the palm knew the line. I was mending a chair, and I met what I needed, a rest that the world never meant to define. Wooden pews still hold the afternoon. I slip inside where no one else will come. I set his toolbox on the floor beside me, The latch is cold, the hinge is still undone.
He built this church a lectern years ago. His hands are rough but steady on the plane. I traced the grain last Sunday after service and felt a splinter I could not explain.
The pages of the hymn smell like dust, and something old I never learned to trust. But hear the crickets sing outside the window. Hear the silence doesn't feel like stone. Here I tried to open up his toolbox and found a note that said I'm not alone. I remember how he sanded every edge. He said a straight line needs a patient hand. He fixed the broken leg on Grandma's table, then turned to me and said, "You'll understand." The kind of grace that takes a long, long time to work its way into a stubborn life. And hear the crickets sing outside the window. Hear the silence doesn't feel like stone. Here I tried to open up his toolbox and found a note that said I'm not alone. I thought I'd find the tools he used to mend, the things that broke before they left my hands. But all I found was paper worn and thin, with verses he had underlined in pen.
And now the crickets sing outside the window, and the silence has a voice I've never known. I closed the box and left it near the lectern, a gentle kind of grace I'm learning home.
The last amen had faded from the walls. The wooden pew stood empty, cold and still. I stayed behind when all the lights went out. The clock above the doorway ticking still.
I preached of streams I couldn't seem to find, and hoped that no one read my tired mind. But mercy found me here before I spoke, before I knew the way you carried hope. A quiet beam of light across the floor. Mercy found me here and asked for nothing more.
I traced the grain of wood beneath my hands, replayed the lines I'd said to empty roads. The silence grew so loud I couldn't stand, until a stream of gold fell on my clothes.
I thought I had to earn what I could not, but in the quiet all my striving stopped.
But Mercy found me here before I spoke, before I knew the way you carried hope. A quiet beam of light across the floor. Mercy found me here and asked for nothing more. You were here before the candles ever burned, before the first confession had been learned. While I was counting all my empty tries, you were counting mercy from the other side. Before I felt the weight of my own shame, before I knew enough to call your name, a quiet beam of light across the floor. Mercy found me here and asked for nothing more. The first few flakes come drifting through the railings, settle on the wool I've pulled across my knees. There's a smell of pine and smoke from the chimney, and the quiet that only comes when no one leaves. I don't know why this moment feels like prayer. Maybe it's the way the snow collects in there, or the patch I'm sewing by the fading light, a piece of my mother's dress, a winter's night. And I am safe beneath this falling quiet, thread running through my fingers, steady and slow. Every stitch I make is a word of thanks. The snow keeps falling and I let it go. The gnarled branch of the old oak guards the yard, its shadow deepening as the ground turns white. I think of all the hands that held this quilt before. My grandmother's my own, now passing into light. I don't pretend to understand the why, but the warmth across my lap is a reply. Each square holds a story that I never told, a baby's first laugh, a harvest growing old. I am safe beneath this falling quiet, thread running through my fingers, steady and slow. Every stitch I make is a word of thanks. The snow keeps falling and I let it go. The porch boards creak but I don't flinch. The snow absorbs the sound, the wood, the weight. I'm not alone in this half-light. The oak remembers every winter I've been late. And I am safe beneath this falling quiet, thread running through my fingers, steady and slow. Every stitch I make is a word of thanks. The snow keeps falling and I let it go. Ooh. fingers found the roots beneath the soil, a stubborn vine that held on like a fear, the smell of rain that promised it would come. But this dry ground has waited many a year. I knelt there where the tangled mess had grown. The work felt heavy, older than my bones, and I stopped right there in the middle of the road, with a handful of earth and a heart that was slow. It was nothing much, just a whispered name, a single word that I couldn't contain, just to help me now on the evening air. One small prayer. The evening light fell soft upon the fence. The kitchen window held a warmer glow, and just inside a different kind of me, a list of ways I'm not sure I can go.
I thought about the children fast asleep, the heavy quiet that a mother keeps, and I let it go like the dust in the breeze, all the weight I carried down on my knees.
It was nothing much, just a whispered name, a single word that I couldn't contain, just to help me now on the evening air. One small prayer. I don't know if the fields will ever turn green, or if the ledger will balance out clean,
but for this 1 second the stillness was loud, a peace that felt like a passing cloud.
It was nothing much, just a whispered name, a single word that I couldn't contain,
just to help me now on the evening air.
and for a moment I felt it there.
Not the answer, just knowing I'm heard. One small prayer, one single word.
I sat on the bank where the cedar leans low, the line in my hand still wet from the throw. Not a single tug since the sun started west, just the weight of a day that wouldn't rest. I picked up a stone, flat, smooth, river worn, and threw it across where the current is torn. It skipped twice, then sank without any sound, and the ripples went out and then folded around, and the crickets began their low, steady drone, like the earth was exhaling a long waiting groan. The sky at my shoulder turned violet and deep, and I let the silence come, slow and complete. I wasn't looking for a voice in the air, just a place to set down the weight that I carried, but the stone kept sinking and the water kept still, and something inside me stopped asking for more. The cedar above held the last last of the light, and the whole river held me still, not alone. I remember mornings I cursed at the wind, cracked the oar on the dock, swore I was done. But tonight I'm not counting the fish that got free, just watching the clouds turn from tarnish to tea. There's a kind of prayer in a storm that won't fly, and letting it go when it's too dark to try. The sky's almost gone, one amber line, and the crickets are softer now, keeping the time. And I breathe in the smell of wet grass and rust, and I don't need a reason to finally trust. The river is telling me nothing at all, and that's the best answer I've known since the fall. I wasn't looking for a voice in the air, just a place to set down the weight that I carry. But the stone kept sinking and the water kept still, and something inside me stopped asking for more. The cedar above held the last of the light, and the whole river held me still, not alone. So maybe God's silence is not a closed door. Maybe it's the room where your heart finally lands, and the crickets don't need to explain their own song. They just sing, and the dark understands. I wasn't looking for a voice in the air, just a place to set down the weight that I carry. But the stone kept sinking and the water kept still, something inside me stopped asking for more. The cedar above holds the last of the light, and the whole river holds me still, not alone, still not alone. I pulled the last hymn book down from the rack, the dust of 100 Sundays on my sleeves. The echo of my own voice still hung in the rafters, but the words fell thin like leaves in a dry breeze. I sat where no one sits, the back row, where the paint is chipped and the wood is worn. And I didn't ask for a sign, I just held the pages when the afternoon broke through the windows torn. It wasn't a voice, it wasn't a flame, just a crack where the light found a name in the smell of old paper, in the quiet that stayed. I felt the mystery hold me, not be afraid. The sermon I preached had all the right lines, but my heart was a field that forgot how to grow. I spoke of a river I hadn't stood in, and the weight of my own words began to show. that's when a sliver of gold crossed the floor, touching the dust like a hand coming down. It fell on the spine of a book I'd forgotten, and I bent my head low, not to pray, just to be found. It wasn't a voice, it wasn't a flame, just a crack where the light found a name in the smell of old paper, in the quiet that stayed. I felt a mystery hold me and not be afraid. The altar was empty, but the seal still held a piece of a rainbow in a single thread. I wasn't healed, I wasn't made new, but the doubt and the wonder both knelt. It wasn't a voice, it wasn't a flame, just a crack where the light found a name. And I walked out with nothing but dust on my hands, and the mystery stayed like a song in the land. Hayloft boards are warm beneath my boots. The pitchfork leans where I left it yesterday. Outside the window, the grass is turning brown, and the wind moves through the fence like it's trying to pray. I've watched the sky for 47 days. Not a single cloud that knew how to stay. But this morning, the air smells different, deep, like ground remembering what it means to weep. Before the rain arrived, I learned to wait with the same old feed bucket in a steady hand. Before the thunder spoke, I saw the weight of 1,000 empty seasons in the smell of land. Turning toward the east, where the clouds grow gray, I stood still and trusted before the rain arrived today. The cows are restless in the lower pen. They know something I can't put into words. I feel it in my shoulders and my skin, the way the barometer drops when it's hurt. And I remember all the years when nothing came, when the dust just blew and the hope felt lame. But this morning, the wind has changed its tone, it's singing through the gaps in the fence alone. Before the rain arrived, I learned to wait with the same old feed bucket in a steady hand. Before the thunder spoke, I saw the weight of 1,000 empty seasons in the smell of land. Turning toward the east, where the clouds grow gray, I stood still and trusted before the rain arrived today. Not because I'm good at hoping, but because the earth knows how to hold the promise that keeps it open. And I'm just learning to be that bold. Before the rain arrived, I learned to wait with my hands in the feet and my eyes on the sky. Before the thunder spoke, I saw the gate swing slow in the wind, and I knew why the dry earth listens when the clouds are late. I stood still and trusted before the rain arrived today. Tires crunched to a stop on the gravel pull-off. I left the engine idling and killed the headlamps. Stepped out where the mist was still hugging the cattails. The air had the clean smell, rain had finally passed. I didn't bring a rod or a tackle box, just the weight I've been carrying since 12 hours ago. I untied the rope, pushed off from the muddy bank, let the boat drift out where the surface lay like glass. No one was watching, no one expected me here, but something in the stillness said I could last. But quiet waters again, not the ones from the song, but the same kind of quiet that mends a tired arm. I sat down on the bench, let the oars rest in the locks, and for the first time in hours my breathing stopped. The birds started tuning up before the sun showed its edge, and I felt like a child being tucked into the edge of a promise.
The shift had been hard, a child who didn't wait, a father signing papers with a trembling hand. I drove home with the window down, letting the wind take some of the sounds I couldn't shake, some of the sand.
The grits under your eyelids when you've seen too much, but the lake was patient and the sky was soft to the touch.
I didn't pray in words, I just sat and watched the light spread like butter on the tree line, slow and cold.
The boat turned a little, following some hidden current, and I let myself be held by what I couldn't hold. By quiet waters again, not the ones from the song, but the same kind of quiet that mends a tired arm. I sat down on the bench, let the oars rest in the locks, and for the first time in hours my breathing stopped. The birds started tuning up before the sun showed its edge, and I felt like a child being tucked into the edge of a promise. I don't know how long I stayed there. The fish never bit, the line never moved. Something in the water kept the shore at a distance, long enough for the soul to come back and approve. By quiet waters again, not the ones I was taught, but the ones that appear when you've given your all and you're caught. I sat down on the bench, let the oars rest in the locks, and the healing began before I unlocked the house. The birds have a new song, and the air smells of grace, and I think I'll come back to this spot, this waiting place.